Adam Nichols is well, actually, Amanda Marcotte first wrote about this over at Salon, and I think it's an interesting point that she's making, and that is that there are a number of people who are basically, you know, hands off on Trump. And I think this is true of some prosecutors. I think this is true of many judges. I think this is true of a lot of politicians. You just had, you know, yesterday, Tom Emmer, who is the number 3 Republican in leadership in the House of Representatives, who was trashed by Trump when he wanted to become Speaker of the House because he had voted for Joe Biden to become president. He had voted to certify Biden's presidency, and Trump trashed him on his Nazi-infested social media site. And Tom Emmer said, "Sir, I'll take another one. You know, hit me again, sir." He came out and endorsed Trump. I mean, you know, this is Steve Scalise, same deal. Trump tried to stop Steve Scalise, saying, "Oh, the guy's got cancer. You don't want him as Speaker." Scalise yesterday came out and endorsed Trump. These people are terrified of this guy. Or actually, it's not that they're terrified of Trump. They're terrified of Trump's base, who every time, you know, some judge says no to Donald Trump, they start getting death threats. Nobody wants to be Nancy Pelosi's husband. Nobody wants to have somebody break into their house and come after them with a hammer. And, you know, I understand that. I mean, you know, I get my share of those threats too, but, you know, we've got to stand up and say, no, we're not going, you know, we're not going to do this. We're not going to just roll over for it. But you know, it's the fear of the backlash from the MAGAs is basically causing some law enforcement officials to say, you know, it's just optional to enforce the law. You know, yes, Donald Trump broke the law, but, you know, we're not going to, you know, for example, you know, he broke the Hatch Act multiple times. There's jail penalties associated with that. Now, you know, Kellyanne Conway broke the Hatch Act. Ivanka Trump violated the Hatch Act. None of them have ever been prosecuted. Why not? Well, because, you know, they're afraid of them. It's, I think that, you know, and frankly, it looks to me like this is coming from the top down, from Merrick Garland, this poor, timid man who is, you know, apparently terrified of Trump, so terrified of him that for 2 years he did virtually nothing. And then finally got shamed into appointing Jack Smith. And now Jack Smith is taking all the flack. Jack Smith is the one who's, you know, the target of Donald Trump. It's just incredible. We'll be right back. Classroom strategies for ADHD and your calls after this.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 202-808-9925.
Stay with us. An amazing, a couple of ideas for kids and kids with ADHD and your calls right after this break.